This is Going the Distance, the Rocky Series podcast. I have a bit of a cold. It's starting to sound, I can hear it in my ear right now. I don't know if it's coming through the microphone, so I will be doing some sniffles like this. And I'll try to edit those out when I can. But if I sniffle over Kyle, then so be it. I don't have a stereo. That's like the last kind of piece of equipment I need is a mixing board, which I have no idea how to use, but I'm sure I can figure it out at some point. I guess how it would work and what my hope is like when I do these, obviously these podcast recordings, I don't rarely do I do it with the person next to me. I mean, Ruben and I did that for a little bit when we lived together, but so all my recordings are, like you're in Alberta, I'm in Quebec, and when I record with Ruben, he's in British Columbia. When I record with Craig and Doug, they're in New Jersey and Las Vegas. So we'll, talk over the mics, but when we step on each other, what I do in editing, which is part of the editing, if I step on somebody, when it works, I'll just cut off or just edit out where we've stepped on each other, and then I just say, go ahead and say what you're going to say, and then it just flows like a conversation. But I think with stereo mixing, like if you have a proper mixing board, is I can just, like if I start talking over somebody and I can just stop talking, I can like edit out the part where I interrupted and the person just keeps talking.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. That's when you've hit big time, Ryan.
I know. I haven't set up the Patreon account as the time of this recording. I haven't done it yet. It's over the holidays. The time of this recording is the second to last day of 2019, to put a little behind the curtain of when this is being recorded. So I didn't really want to set it up during the holiday season when everyone's exhausted their resources and the last thing they want to do is spend money. Did you give your thoughts on the Patreon?
Yeah, I was cool with it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, better than that than like a subscription. Voluntarily donate if they want to, but then they're not like pressured into doing it.
Right, and I just stepped on you a little bit there. So the idea for any listeners who are listening to this episode who didn't hear the Patreon kind of spiel that I did for about 5 minutes, and I apologize to my listeners for that, but I'll make this quick. The idea or my hope for the Patreon is I don't want anyone giving me money that doesn't want to give me money. And because of that, none of your listening experience, for better or for worse, will improve or not improve, meaning it's going to be the same show. I mean, I'll improve as a podcaster, or maybe as time goes on. Since my first episode, I've improved, I think. But what I'm getting at is you will never be limited as a listener from access to any episode I record. That I will always promise. I will never do a Patreon-only episode. Here I am doing the whole Rocky series for free. But the point is, but what I'm getting at is I would give the money, sure, if I just had the money. But I listen to 10, 15 different podcast shows regularly. So even if I gave them $1 each, which isn't very much, that's $15 a month, right? But some of these shows are asking for $5, $10, $15, $20, $100 for an episode.
I wish we could run ads or something. I still think we can get advertisers, but...
Well, and I like how Joe Rogan does it. I don't listen to all of his shows because I don't have time to listen to 20 hours of podcasting a week between doing my own show and listen to what else I listen to. I listen to guests that he have that I want to hear. But that being said, he'll do all of his advertising at the beginning. And, often I'm sure people like me, we just skip until we get...
Of course, yeah. I hear about Dollar Shave Club or whatever he's doing, or the Cash App.
Yeah, I hear you are talking about it. See how that works?
Damn it.
Yeah.
The Cash App is won once again.
And I guess in order for an advertisement thing to work, is I have to have more listeners, and I would have to have somebody willing to pay me. That's how it works, I think, is the company pays me a stipend to either mention their show, or if they feel like they're not getting any increased business from my show, they're going to stop paying me, is my understanding.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how Patreon works. It's funny because I'm just so cheap. I never give anyone anything for Patreon, but like there are lots of people that do it. It's surprising. So you never know.
And that's just it. And Ruben said it best. I don't know if you heard his response or I've already mentioned it to you in one of our recordings, where he said we shouldn't give that answer for people. We should let people answer that question, meaning set it up. And if people want to help out, they can help out. And the idea of the Patreon will be just, as I stated before, it costs me $300 a year just to run this show, just for the feed. And that doesn't include my time that I edit and all that other good stuff. So it's not a sob story. I do this as a hobby. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. And if you really want to be like, don't want to pay money, it's free. It's just thanking me on the webpage or on the Facebook group, thanking me for the episode, saying, hey, that was a fun listen, or sending me a Twitter or email. Those things are even worth more money because it means something to me. It actually really is nice. But if you want to pay and you don't want to email, or do both. Or just be like, I don't know, the rest of you bums and don't do anything.
I'm willing to take nudes from people too if they want to send them.
Yeah. For sure.
If you're a girl, that's cool. If you're a guy, I'll judge whatever you send me on the next episode or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Comment and
it doesn't have to be nude. It can be, even a shorts and a t-shirt. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So this all joking, just joking. I don't want my work to call me and say I was being inappropriate.
That's why I said you send me the nudes. Ryan's above that sort of thing.
That's right. Kyle's a degenerate. I'm going to go to our email real quick. We did get one new email. I think it's just one, but let me double check.
Have you ever got hate mail? I can't remember.
I've gotten some, not hate mail, but I've gotten a couple of things on Facebook every now and then. An angry face. I posted today in one of the Stallone groups that I'm a part of that's like 50,000 members. So I post my show there, absolutely, because it's free advertising for 50,000 people. It hasn't given me 50,000 listeners, I'll tell you that. I don't know if it's given me any, but I'll keep doing it. You never know. But I posted a preview of our Tango and Cash show. In the picture preview was, of course, Stallone and Kurt Russell and their bare buttocks. And somebody reacted with an angry face. I guess they weren't a fan of the bare buttocks.
Can't please everyone, I guess.
No. Well, we can please Greg the First. He sent he sent us another email. He goes, Ryan, just finished listening to another fun episode with you and Kyle. I will gladly accept the new name of Greg the First. Well, it's been granted and you shall receive it. He said a couple of trivia and tidbits from Rocky's stroll down memory lane. Number 1, the building where the ice skating rink from the original Rocky was located does still exist. However, that scene was filmed in Santa Monica, California.
Oh.
It's now a high-end clothing store, apparently. The empty lot from Rocky Balboa really is in Philly, and of course you can visit if you want.
The building where Rocky was skating with Adrian in the original film, that still exists. And is that in Philadelphia or Santa Monica? I didn't quite catch.
Yeah, so that building in the Rocky one where they skated still exists, but that scene was in Santa Monica, California.
Like the scene in the original movie was in Santa Monica, or the scene in Rocky Balboa was in Santa Monica?
No, the empty lot was Rocky Balboa, and that was in Philly.
Okay.
Yeah. They filmed on location for Rocky Balboa, but they just used the empty lot saying that the rink got torn down, but in real life it's still standing in Santa Monica, California. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Holy smokes.
I always thought the whole thing was filmed in Philly. I didn't know they did some in Santa Monica.
Well, Greg the First knows.
I trust Greg. I'm not even going to fact check that.
No.
I'm just going to believe him, because I don't think Greg would lie to us about something like that. So
Kunda's tour, did we talk about this? The cost?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's up to 7 people. I won't say the cost on air because I just don't think it's polite, but you can go to his specifics and costs. There's a link there on the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour website. He says that's for yourself or for up to 7 people. So obviously that price, which you can look up online, it's for 3 to 4 hours. It's for 7 people max, so you can divide up that price. So
if we made it down to Philly, we could probably get some people together.
Right.
To go on that tour. Like, I'm sure Doug over in Jersey would probably do it.
Oh, he would do it in a heartbeat, yeah.
I don't know what part of New Jersey he's from, if it's near New York or near Philly.
Oh, I forget where it's from. I should know. He's told me. I feel like it has a garden or green or something in his name, but
New Jersey's not that big, so it's not like that. Wherever he is in New Jersey, it's not that far from Philadelphia.
Right.
And I'm sure other people. So I bet we could scrape together 7 people if we really wanted to.
I think so. And then he says, finally, I agree with Kyle. I would love for you guys to go back to the beginning after Creed 2, or at the very least have some wrap-up episodes that take a look at the series as a whole. As far as I am concerned, you can take as long as possible working through these last few movies. I appreciate the slower pace. Thanks and happy holidays, Greg.
Greg's the best. There's always good stuff from him.
And another good guy who just happens to be Gold. His name is Ryan Gold. He's emailed us a couple times. And I almost didn't see this email because for some reason it showed up in my promotions folder, which is weird. He says, hi, Ryan. It's Ryan Gold. Ryan Gold 8 from Twitter again. I recently went to Philly and went around to all the locations. Not the Mike Kunda tour because I'd been researching since I was a kid. So I think he's saying that he just saved himself bucks and did it on his own. That's fair.
At the cost. You gotta edit that out.
Oh, this isn't live. I'll edit out the cost. Thanks. He goes, I'm 22, but been a fan of Rocky since I was about 6. If you ever need a guest host or any help on anything, please let me know, as he would love to be involved. Now, Ryan, please don't take any offense by me. No, I'm not turning you down live in front of all of our listeners. That's not what I'm doing. I will take you up on that if that happens, if that makes sense. You're in a long line, not a long line, but there's other people who have, you've been coming to my podcast for for 10 years, Ryan. In 10 years, you've been sticking it to me.
When Ryan goes big time, like say 10 years from now, he's like, 10 years from now, I asked for your help, and you weren't there for me. And now that I'm famous, you're going to come to me.
That's what's going to happen. One day I'll get who knows how many listeners an episode, and I'll get this advertiser, and people will be like, hey, can I guess? I'm like, yeah, I was tweeting you for 10 years. Yeah, I know. But yeah, Ryan, keep listening. I appreciate your support. I really do appreciate your emails, and I'm not turning you down. There will be a day, I think, where I'm going to have like a quick little, probably at least like a Q&A with people that want to come on the show, maybe like the 200th episode type thing. So stand by for that, where I get some of the listeners involved who want to, get their voice on the air and plug whatever they want. He goes on to say here, as I've said previously, I love listening to the podcast at work. Going through them all keeps me going in what's a pretty boring job. If you're interested in doing a show about the locations and the changes and want to do one for anyone going to Philly in the future, please let me know, as I'd be honored. He's attached a few photos at some locations in Philly you'll recognize. Keep podcasting, Ryan. And I just want to let you know, Ryan Gold, that the pictures didn't come through. So if you want to resend those pictures, go ahead. Okay, so that's our housekeeping. If you want to send me an email, it is gtdwittrr@gmail.com. When in doubt, just Google Going the Distance podcast on Facebook, on Google, on Twitter, on Instagram. If you can't find our show, I don't know how you're listening to me. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Kyle, you were with us in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to continue with the movie here. So we just ended the scene where Mason the Lion Dixon visits his trainer to get some wisdom and insight to deal with the psychological slump that he's in.
Yeah, and the trainer ain't getting no Patreon money from Mason either.
No, he's not getting the Patreon money.
That was some free advice he just gave.
Yeah, he got free advice, responses like emails and Twitters and things like that. So the trainer still felt good that he came to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so now we have a shot outside of Adrian's restaurant, so that's where this next scene is taking place.
How about a picture with the kid, Rock? That all right?
Sure. Your son, hold up your fist. Makes you look more hazardous. There you go.
Thanks, Rance.
Enjoy your meal.
Thanks, Rock. He's a nice guy, isn't he?
We just see an idea of what Rocky does nightly at the restaurant, and he took a picture with the kid. And it's weird that the dad said, hey, Rocky, take a picture with my kid. But the kid was nonplussed by having his photo taken with the heavyweight champion of the world. So much so that Rocky even had to guide him on how to take a picture with Rocky.
Yeah, I guess that's the father maybe living vicariously through the son or something like that. Like,
well, get the picture with the dad.
He probably maybe wanted to meet the champ when he was young, and maybe when he was a kid, he wishes he could have got a picture with the champ. And
the dad is the same age as Rocky.
When I say the champ, I just mean whoever would have been the champ at the time, right?
Sure. I wonder why they did that, though. I wonder why that choice, Sly, why he wrote it that way. Like, why didn't the dad take the photo with the kid in the photo? Hey, champ, I've been a fan of yours for years. How about a photo with me and my son? He's just getting into boxing, and I've shown him videos of you on YouTube. Now, that took me 3 seconds to say. I don't know why. It sounds more real to me what I just said there. You know what I mean? I don't want to be critical of the movie. That's part of my job here. But I always find it interesting. Like, Sly tells a great story, and he has a great vision, obviously, for his character. But these are non-Rocky moments in a way. It seems more real life that's what a guy our age or older would actually be saying to Rocky.
Yeah. I wonder if that guy's been there before and stuff.
Enjoy your meal.
Thanks, Rock. He's a nice guy,
Rocky?
isn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
I wonder if that teenager's just
Spider just went
awkward.
downstairs. I don't know.
I wonder if that teenager's just awkward too. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he just doesn't know how to like handle himself in a situation like that. The kid's so young that he wouldn't have been alive when Rocky was fighting.
No, the street fight took place 16 years ago, so he would have been not even born yet.
Yeah, so Yeah, and it was the dad's idea to get the picture with the kid too. I don't know. To me, that's just kind of the dad thinking he kind of knows better. It's like, you'll want a picture with this guy. He's a big deal, right? Like, he's probably one of the most famous fighters to ever live.
But then his grandfather, I guess, puts his hand on his shoulder like, isn't that amazing, grandson, that you just had that moment?
Yeah, it's almost kind of like a religion or something, you know? You get, like, christened or whatever, and it's, wasn't that awesome? And then you're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Your meal.
He's a nice guy,
Rocky?
isn't he?
Yeah.
Listen, Spider just went downstairs. I don't know if that's all right or not, so.
Well, what's he doing down there?
I don't know. That's your friend.
So the hostess, I forget her name, but she's the one that's pregnant right now. She just told Rocky.
Isabella.
Okay. She just told Rocky that Spider's downstairs and Rocky doesn't know why he's down there. So he's gone down to investigate what Spider Rico's doing downstairs in the kitchen.
Yo, Spider.
Let me do some dishes. I feel better.
Oh, come on, you're my guest.
Let me do something.
Well, keep eating. Guests do that.
Don't make me fight you again. Last time you got lucky.
Luggy. Okay.
Jesus wants me to work.
You're Rocky.
It's supposed to be a fun little exchange between Spider and Rocky. Why does Spider sound like Andre the Giant?
I don't know.
Like he sounds terrible in this film.
Well, you know what? He sounded terrible in the first film, too. He says lucky really weird. It almost sounds like ducky. And I remember for the first film, as a kid, I was always trying to figure out what he said. It was VHS and I didn't have subtitles. He's like, you really got ducky? I'm like, what? What is that? And he says it like kind of the same way here. I don't like how they put that in there. Like, I don't think he would have remembered that line, or if he did, I don't know if he would have said it that way. Like, I feel like that was a little bit of a cheap shot going back to a line from the first film.
Yo, remember when I told you that I didn't mind them taking those cheap shots at me when I made Rocky Balboa?
Yeah.
Well, it did.
He just walks away. End the conversation.
Yeah, I guess the idea here is a total nod at Rocky 1. Fanboys like myself, when I saw this on the screen, we're all like, yeah, I know that part they're talking about. I know that conversation they had when they're in the locker room, and I can see the Spider Rico's lying up against the locker on the bench, and he's got an ice pack on his eye or just whatever. He's lying there, and he's saying, you got lucky. Sorry, his Andre the Giant voice. You got lucky, dude. And then Rocky's remembering, yeah, I got lucky, sure.
Look lucky?
Yeah, do I look lucky? That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That was Apollo. I get all mixed up here with all the lucky.
Yeah, that's a Rocky 2 line there.
And then, of course, Spider's just saying that he wants to help, that he's eating there for free, and he doesn't want to be a leech. Jesus wants him to work. And I'm like, man, if Jesus wants you to work for free and you don't want my pay, do as many dishes as you want, Spider.
Yeah. I'd be a little uncomfortable if I was Rocky, because I wouldn't want him to feel obligated that he had to do that. So I'd make sure I tell him, like, look, you really, really don't have to do this. Like, I don't mind at all. But then after that, if he's still insistent, like, hell yeah, get scrubbing. Like, that's cool with me.
Remember that scene in Rocky 1 where Paulie accuses Adrian of being like a spider hanging around the house?
Yes.
Spider Rico is literally a spider hanging around the restaurant. Oh my goodness. I bet you I'm the first person in Rocky history to make that connection.
Probably.
Yeah.
You got gas.
Don't get too wet, okay? Glad you just didn't ask me to cook.
So he tells Spider Rico, don't get too wet. And then he mumbles to himself as he's walking up the stairs. If you couldn't hear it, he goes, it's a good thing Jesus didn't tell you to cook.
That's a pretty good line. I like that one.
No, that's a clever line, absolutely. Isabella has told Rocky that he's got guests. He seems confused. He wasn't expecting anybody. I wonder who the guest is.
You kept the card.
Yeah, I kept the card.
Here, why don't you sit down?
Yeah, sure.
Steps and Little Marie have shown up to get their free meal. Boy, a lot of leeches on this at this restaurant.
Man, Adrian's is going to be going through some financial difficulty. Hopefully that other guy, the birthday guy, just really let loose. Hopefully he got appetizers drinks, a good entree, and dessert to really get that bill up there.
He's feeding Spider for free.
Yeah.
He's now feeding Little Marie and Steps for free. And I can bet you my last dollar that Paulie isn't paying a dime there.
Oh, hell no. Like, he complains that it's Italian food made by a bunch of Mexicans, but he's still eating there because that's better than Chef Boyardee or whatever he'd be having at home.
Oh yeah. When he was sitting down there at the bar later in the movie, he didn't pay a dime.
No way. So I think he hits that bar more than anything, actually.
This was the deleted scene in Rocky Balboa. He goes, "I swear to you, Rock, I never paid a freaking dime."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, did you see the look on Steps' face, too, when he's there?
Oh, let me go back. It looks like he wants to kill himself.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's a mix of things. That is exactly the look a teenager in his situation would have. In his look, you can see it's mostly embarrassment, I think. Teenagers are really easily embarrassed by things, and I can imagine being him in that situation, getting like a free meal is almost kind of embarrassing. Like,
right.
You feel like, kind of like a moocher. He's irritated by Rocky anyways. So not only are you getting a free meal, but you're getting it from this guy you don't even like, and you're in this restaurant with like pictures of this guy everywhere.
Oh,
and like
man.
everyone thinks this guy's the best and stuff. So yeah, I thought that was done very well by whoever that guy is. Like he looks exactly the way you think he would look.
Oh, I feel bad we haven't done that. We actually did the Little Marie breakdown. Me and Ruben broke down the actress and her character. Oh, there he is. Okay. His name is James Francis Kelly, and he doesn't even come up as a link in Wikipedia. So
His acting career probably didn't flourish that much then.
he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's read his bio here. His bio has the word step in it quite a bit, ironically. To say, I'm not even joking. Check this out. To say James Francis Kelly III is an exceptional young man would be putting it mildly. At the age of 16, James is on the verge of becoming a household Hollywood name. With his role in Rocky Balboa, the sixth film from Sylvester Stallone, well, it's the sixth film from the Rocky franchise, but not the sixth film from Sylvester Stallone at this point. James is preparing for the next step. I think this might have been written by... Okay, this was written by the American Artist Group Management. So this is probably his so they're almost like writing this when this movie came out. So whatever the next step may be, one thing is certain. James Francis Kelly III is ready. His background in theater, athletics, and academics has given him a breadth of skill and a depth of knowledge uncommonly seen in a teenager. His mature and confident nature make an immediate impact, as they obviously did on Stallone, who cast Kelly to play Steps, the troubled son of a down-on-her-luck parent in the film, slated for a December release. While honing his acting skills training at the Lee Strasberg Institute, James was singled out at the young age of 9 to act as an assistant acting teacher for summer theater. He has quietly been perfecting his craft since the age of 4, and now, as he stands on Hollywood's doorstep, he's ready to make his place. Epitomizing the term well-rounded, as a high school junior, James is already being recruited to play football at many of the nation's top schools. But his passion is for acting. Although he is a captain on his varsity football team, James has also practiced Muay Thai?
It's Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, a traditional form of Thai self-defense for many years, as well as playing other sports such as soccer and racquetball. Also, unlike many young adults, James is interested in his cultural background, which has proven to be inspirational. Born to African-American Native American mother and a father who is second-generation Irish, James has benefited from each of these cultures. Last summer, James was adopted into the Crow Nation and given his formal Indian name, Kawesash, which means he who does which means he who does not give up. And it is obvious that James Francis Kelly III is not going to give up. He has already proven that whatever the future holds, he will thrive. Renee Missel is James' personal manager, and American Artist Group Management is his business manager. End biography.
Well, that was a very unbiased take of his abilities and his prospects. Although I did find it interesting that his Irish heritage, still owners remarking on what he thought was Marie's son's big Irish hair.
Yeah. To quote his biography, James is on the verge of becoming, quote, a household Hollywood name. Okay? So since Rocky Balboa came out in 2006, right?
Yeah.
So Hollywood, could barely contain the talent of James Francis Kelly. He played Officer Bryce 4 years later. He played Officer Bryce in the motion picture Circle. You've heard of that movie.
That one. You're right. Yeah.
You remember Circle? It starred Jason Thompson and Silas Weir-Mitchell and Aaron Reese and Peter Onorati. And
Peter Onorati was really good in that.
Yeah. Well, he played Chief.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th credit, James Francis Kelly III played Officer Bryce. Okay.
Well, what else has he done?
Well, don't, yeah, so his, Hollywood name. That same year, he was so popular, right? That same year, he had another co-starring role. Oh, in a Russell Crowe film. So he's really moving up. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he, stand by. He played the pivotal role. You might remember this role. You saw the movie The Next 3 Days, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Well, James Francis Kelly III, he played the lab van driver.
I feel so bad making fun of this guy because it's not like I've accomplished any most of that, but...
No, wait, I read his biography to you. Come on.
Okay.
Hollywood, Verge. Okay, well, I just stopped at 2010. We know actors, Stallone is no exception. They go through ups and downs. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. This was 35 cast members down. That's not bad.
It's not 36, that's for sure.
Okay, well, that was his last acting role.
Well, he's taking a break.
He's taking a break. It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah, a decade-long break. Maybe he's in the NFL. You thought of that?
Well, to be fair, he was a co-executive producer, 9 episodes on Planet E Entertainment Network in 2015.
Okay, there you go.
And that is the end of his Hollywood career.
Well, they were right. He did do stuff after Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, they might want to update that bio.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, poor Steps.
We're having a little fun. I highly doubt anyone that knows Steps in real life listens to our show. And if they do, it's all good fun. I almost feel like I hate pulling back the curtain because Howard Stern doesn't pull back the curtain when he pokes fun, but we're just having a little bit of fun. I'm sure I hope he's still alive. Actually, I didn't even look at that.
I'm not making fun of Steps as much as the person who wrote that bio.
Yeah, that's just it, exactly.
Like that bio, I don't know. Like that, I'm not superstitious, but it sounds like it kind of jinxed things a bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Steps, all the best. We're looking forward to your comeback. Stallone had his comebacks. He's done a few comebacks in his long career. You're only 30. To be fair, James Francis Kelly III, he's the same age that Stallone was when he got big in Rocky. So it's not over yet.
Not even started, really.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the movie. The outside shot is the Irish pub. Let's see what's going on here. I think this is where Rocky Jr. and his buddies are having a couple brewskis and watching sports on TV.
Yes.
Oh, the Killers is playing in the background. You hear that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some killers.
I just mean I go in right here. Because you know what? I walk in there, I say good morning, I do this, I do this.
Okay, you hear that guy there? He says, because you know what? I walk in there, I say good morning, I do this, and I do this. So he's talking about some girl he flirts with at work or something, and he's pointing to his big grin, smiling. His name, Kyle, and to my listeners, is Tim Carr, and I interviewed him on my show a couple seasons back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. His bio on Twitter is Rocky Jr.'s best friend.
He's going to be a household name too, I guess.
Here's the thing about Tim. He's a really great guy, really nice guy to talk to. He does have a little bit more of a career than Steps. So Tim Carr here, he's currently post-production of a short film. He is in pre-production on a film itself called Wisdom for Heroes. So he's a working actor, they say. He's got lots of credits here. He was in Oz, Species 2, Rounders, Homicide, Life on the Street. He played an ongoing character for 12 episodes. He was on All My Children for 15 episodes. He was on the Street TV series for 5-6 episodes. So he's a working actor. This is all before Rocky Balboa. And since then, he's been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 12, 13 movies as an actor. And he does produce. Yeah, so he has 14 producing credits, 10 writing credits, 9 director credits. He's worked in the music department. And so he's what you call those working actors.
Respect.
He was in a movie, and he sent me a free DVD copy, and I owe it to him, and I will. So, speaking of Tim Carr, if you're listening, I think he listens to the show. I don't know if he's a faithful listener, but I'll let him know we gave him a shout out on this show. He has a horror movie that he starred in. He has a horror show, a 2001 horror show called Killer Instinct horror movie. He sent me a free DVD, and I promised him that I would review the movie with him. He played one of the teens that gets slaughtered, one of those teen movies where they get slaughtered. Yeah. Corbin Benson was in it. So was Dee Wallace. He says he might be able to get some of the cast members to come on the show. So I think that might be a fun bonus episode.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Because it's exactly what you think it is. It's radar for violence, language, and some strong sexuality.
That's the best sexuality, I think.
Yeah, weak sexuality is kind of, Hey, Kyle, Greg the First wanted us to take our time with the Rocky series, these last few movies. Well, I think he's getting his wish here.
Yeah, careful what you wish for, Greg.
All right, continuing with Rocky Balboa's best friend.
Tonight, boxing once again. Two contrasting styles in almost every way.
So the voice you're hearing now is a TV voice coming from the big screen in the bar. And it said, tonight, boxing once again. We got two contrasting styles in almost every way. And it's a CGI picture of a young Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion in his prime. It says, versus Mason Dixon, the line. Rocky hails from Philly. He has a record here, Kyle, 57, 23, and 1.
54 KOs.
54 knockouts. Does that seem like a lot to you?
That's a really high percentage. There are guys in Rocky's era that have percentages near there. George Foreman is like that. Ernie Shavers has a similar knockout percentage. That makes sense because Rocky's not going to win a lot of fights on points with his style, right? Like if he wins, he's going to knock his opponent out.
What's the 1 for? Is that a draw?
Yeah, because usually there's win, loss, draw, and then they can have like a no contest or something like that. But I'm guessing the 1 is a draw in this case.
I love how they give him a height of 5'11".
That is funny, isn't it? Because that's the problem with Stallone in these movies, is that in reality, Stallone is very athletic and very capable and probably could have been a boxer, but he definitely would not have been in the heavyweight division. No chance.
No.
He's way too small to be in the heavyweight division. He'd probably be like a light heavyweight or something, maybe a cruiserweight. They got to give him a height of 5'11", because his real height's like 5'9" or 5'8" or something.
Yes, 5'8".
Yeah, that's like unheard of in the heavyweights. Like even like 5'11" is a short heavyweight. Mike Tyson was 5'11", and he was shorter than almost all his opponents.
It says his weight here is 217 during his prime, and a reach of 73 inches. Mason Lion Dixon from Las Vegas, record of 33-0, and 30 of those were knockouts. So it's trying to, again, establish just how dangerous this fighter is. And his height is 6'3", and he only weighs 4 more pounds than Rocky.
Yeah, and it's funny because this Mason Dixon is also not a heavyweight in real life. I don't know if he's really 6'3" or not. Yeah, he fights light heavyweight even. Yeah, 221 is not a bad weight. It's kind of small now for boxing. It seems like the heavyweights now are huge. Tyson Fury's 6'9". Anthony Joshua, I think, is 6'6". Deontay Wilder's probably similar height. They're all monsters now. Historically, yeah, 6'3", 220, 230, that's about right for a heavyweight.
So what we're about to watch, I'm going to play it all the way through, is, of course, and I don't think anyone's listening to this show that doesn't know this, is this computer simulation fight. Now, how does this work on paper? Let's pretend in the movie world this is... Like, do they have this for real?
This actually happened in the 60s, of all places.
The 60s?
Yeah. They make reference to this in the movie later on. I think it's actually the end of this scene here. During Muhammad Ali's layoff, he had that 3-year layoff because of his protest of the Vietnam War. He was stripped of his boxing license.
Right.
But the thing to make money, there was a computer simulated fight between him and Rocky Marciano. Now, of course, they didn't have CGI, anything, or animation or anything. Well, they did have animation in the 60s, but they didn't use it. What they did was Ali and Marciano actually got in the ring and did a series of moves against each other. It's all fake knockdowns, everything. And then they had really basic primitive computers then, and they did a simulation where they just put in the stats and the probabilities or whatever, and I don't know how they programmed it exactly, and they came up with a fight. The people who had the footage edited and cut that footage to match the fight. Rocky Marciano won that fight, and it was very controversial. And Rocky Marciano has a very similar style to Rocky Balboa. Muhammad Ali is kind of more of the Apollo Creed or maybe Mason Dixon type of fighter. So this here is directly inspired from the actual occurrence back in the 60s.
My question is, how do they put these stats against each other? How does the computer, even a 60s computer or 2006 computer, how does it determine?
There's probably a lot of just guesswork. They probably just look at his historical fights, like, okay, this guy throws X amount of punches and so many rounds, and this guy could take X amount of punches, and Dixon, we know, could throw this many and take this many. And this sounds really bad. If anyone actually does this for their job, there's something in statistics called a Monte Carlo simulation, where basically you take a bunch of data and inputs, and then you get like mean and standard deviation for each of them, and you get a distribution going, and then you run a ton of simulations. Then it comes out with, okay, this is the probability of this person winning or losing. And that's maybe what they did here. But yeah, it's basically just guesswork.
Okay, so when we see this play out on the screen, are we seeing a predetermined like CGI rendering, like in the world of the movie, of course? Are they seeing the fight being played out by the computers, or are we seeing the creators of the simulation making the animation of the simulation?
I don't know. I know in the 60s it was like they created the fight based on the computer readout. I think now with modern computing, they can just get the CGI characters to just act out whatever the computer simulation says.
Okay.
Just like in a video game where you have two AIs fight each other, right?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's what I'm thinking is happening. I think that's what we're led to believe, is that we're actually seeing a pay-per-view fight of Rocky and Mason in their prime. And it's in CGI. But what's hilarious, this CGI is 13 years old and how aged it looks now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Let's watch this fight or listen to the fight play out. Of course, if you want to see this fight, just watch the movie or go on YouTube. I'm sure it's there.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, can you turn this up?
Again to ESPN's
Turn this up,
Then
please.
versus Now.
It's Tim
Who
Carr
was the best
saying to
of
turn it
all
up.
time? If two athletes from different eras could actually compete against one another, who would come out on top? Given the same rules, using the same equipment, who was the greatest? This week, we feed our facts into the computer. They will weigh in on who they think will reign supreme, while fielding the comments of our illustrious panel of sports writers.
It's being put together right now for the audience. Rocky's son, Rocky Jr. is in the bar, and he's watching it. He doesn't look too impressed already. Mason Line Dixon is just shooting hoops out in his huge courtyard outside his mansion. Of course, his crew is going to tell him to come in and check it out.
Sorry, now I'm thinking more about your question
Sure.
that you said earlier about how they do it. So I'm guessing what they do is they say, okay, well, there's all these different attributes. Like, we're going to program the Rocky. He could punch about this fast. We're going to give him this much stamina score, which is probably super high. They'd probably add some kind of random generator so you get X amount of lucky punches or whatever. And they do a similar thing for Mason and just let it play out.
There you go.
I don't know.
I'm sure Greggy the First will tell us.
Yeah, Greg knows. I'm sure he knows.
Champ! Yo, Champ!
Yeah,
Man, come check out this trash they talking about you, man.
what you talking about?
Come on, man. Come check this out. Hurry up.
Tonight, the former two-time heavyweight champion from Philadelphia, Rocky Balboa. All right, Chuck Johnson, USA Today.
There's no question that Rocky Balboa fought the much tougher fights during a much tougher era in boxing. When you look at Mason Dixon in his career, he's basically been spoon-fed his opponents. No question in my mind, not only does Rocky win, but he wins knockout.
So the bar, of course, in Philly is cheering for their hometown hero.
Robert's miserable during this whole thing. He's like,
And Tim Carr here, playing Rocky Balboa Jr.'s best friend, is like, that's my friend. That's my friend. Or he says offspring. Yeah.
Hernandez, what do you think?
Dixon is a victim of his own dominance. He's never been in real knockdown, drag-out brawls. He's never had to dig down to rally back. Well, if he tries to dig down against Balboa, he's going to find that he doesn't have a big enough shovel. I clearly give it to Balboa.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, 2-0 for Balboa.
and by the way, I think these two guys are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Rocky did fight in the best era of boxing.
Yeah.
Against phenomenal opponents. I don't think Mason Dixon would stand a chance against Apollo Creed.
No.
Or Clubber Lang
No.
or Ivan Drago
or even Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, even Tommy Gunn. I'm surprised they are considering Rocky to be the best of all time. I still think Apollo would have been the best of all time, even though he...
I think if I remember the beginning, this is something they've done on a nightly, or this is something they've done, I think, with different opponents too. I don't think it's just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think they're saying on tonight's card, I think something was said like that. I have to go back to the tape, but I think the idea is it's like, okay, tonight we're doing Rocky Balboa and Mason Dixon. Maybe the other night they did Creed in his prime against Drago, and we would have different results there.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
What happened to you?
So Tim Carr, Rocky's friend, is teasing him, saying, "What happened to you, man? What happened to you? Why are you such a pencil neck geek compared to your father?"
Yeah. Look, I beat up Chip or whatever that guy's name was.
He beat up Chicky.
I beat up Chicky. I'll never remember that guy's name. He beat up Chicky in a rough part of Philly. He could probably beat up some of these guys too.
Oh,
These guys
probably.
probably didn't grow up in like the bad neighborhood.
He beat up Chicky, and Chicky's pal got scared.
Yeah, yeah. These guys would have got owned by Chicky or his pal.
I wonder how Chicky Pal's doing in his transition period right now.
Boxing historian Burt Randolph Sugar.
Dixon has fought clean puffs, so we really don't know what he's made of, but both in their primes, and you got to factor in here, Dixon's unbelievable speed, his slashing offense. He cuts Balboa to bits, no doubt. Dixon wins all the way.
All right, here's where our subjectivity ends. Let's see what the computer has to say. Let's have it.
So now they're going into this very dated CGI, and it almost seemed dated back when this movie was made.
True, they're not making a film, right? It's probably like somebody had to make this over the weekend.
Sure, okay.
Right? Like it's really the budget's not that big for it.
So let's see this fight play out.
Dixon unloads on Balboa. Rocky has no answer. Balboa's eating jabs.
What I love is we have a commentator of the fight. So this is what I mean. These punches are being landed by the AI, but do they have pre-programmed commentation?
It sounds like Bill Baldwin. It sounds like one of the commentators from the...
Yeah, because now this seems like they're trying to make it seem like it's a computer live doing the fight, but they've got pre-programmed commentating, like able to AI the fight with artificial...
Well, they could have overlaid the commentating afterwards.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. But it sounds like either Bill Baldwin or Stu Nahan. I can't remember which one's still here, if they're either of them are still here.
They're here in our hearts, Kyle.
Yeah.
What time is it?
So Rocky comes back.
Now Dixon is done. He is ready. He is almost out on his feet. Balboa turning up the heat. Outs him across the ring. Boy, he's bit off more than he can chew this time. Believe it. Oh, a murderous right hook. And Dixon is out on his feet. He is out cold as he crumbles to the cannon. And it is Balboa.
Tim Carr is about to say here, ladies and gentlemen, baby Rocky. Baby Rocky. That's the classic line. Listen to this.
He looks so uncomfortable, that whole scene. Whenever they flash to him, his shoulders are slouched. Oh, he's really trying to make himself not noticed at all. He's looking at the ground most of the time. Everything in his body language says, please make this stop. Like, I do not want this to come up.
That's a good screenshot there. I got that from my show. Because it says, ladies and gentlemen, Baby Rocky. Baby Rocky. I think it's going to be the name of this episode. Baby Rocky. Oh, he hates that. What was Creed's name? Baby Creed?
Yeah, don't call me that. Hey, man, you got all wrong. I'm just trying to give you some love.
Oh, man.
Doctor, the other guy, I'm going to give you a one-way ticket back to your pops or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's a good place to stop it there. Baby Rocky, he ain't too happy with this.
Yeah, it's hard to blame him. I think maybe part of him wonders if maybe eventually the fame of his dad will wear out. That people will kind of forget about it and he can live a normal life, and then, which isn't really happening, as you can see. And then this happens, and then, okay, Rocky's back in the spotlight again. Everyone's going to be asking me about this fight. They're going to say, well, what does my dad think about this? It's the exact opposite of what he wants to happen. What he needs to do is move out, like maybe to a different country, like to the West Coast, something like that.
Yeah, I think he needs to go to Vancouver.
That's the place to go.
I think so. I wonder if he'll ever end up in Vancouver.
You never know. You never know. He's not good enough for Victoria, but he's good enough for Vancouver.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt to get off the island.
Yeah.
Kyle, any closing comments on what we saw today?
No, not really. It's obvious that Rocky's so much better than Dixon. Maybe it's because I'm so biased and I've watched a bunch of movies based on it, but it's just...
Well, of course, we're fans of the film, and we've seen them many times. And speaking within the universe the film is based in, yeah, Rocky has overcome insurmountable odds against incredible opponents. And to say that Mason is any way, shape, or form such a foe, even at his older age, is kind of silly. And again, that brings me to, this isn't a slight on Tarver in real life, because it's not his fault that he was cast, so to speak. Remember in Creed 2 when they got that big, huge guy? Whatever his name is, Montague.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That's a beast.
Yeah, that guy would kill Dixon.
Well, yeah.
You know what? Who Dixon reminds me of? A real life character, and I don't think that Dixon was based off him, but he reminds me of Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko was heavyweight champion for quite a while. But he's up there for like one of the most title defenses of any heavyweight champion. But he's known to have a very clinical and very boring style. He's horrible to watch. He's not an inspiring fighter at all.
Right.
He's a good fighter. He's not a Muhammad Ali. He's not a Mike Tyson. He's not any of those kind of guys, right? Dixon, he's, to me, very similar. No one wants to watch him fight, even though he's a good fighter.
They weren't killers like you.
Yeah.
Do you want to take us out?
Ding, ding.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
And I know you can't see me, but I make the pawing motion with my hand as if it's in a boxing glove, ringing a bell.
Oh, wow.
I do that.
Well, the listeners can't see you either, so thanks for telling them that. That's good. A good little behind the curtain.
Oh, that was a good episode. That was extremely slow, but, I think we should milk this for all it's worth, really.
Well, believe it or not, we're already a half hour into an hour and 40-minute movie. There's only an hour and 10 minutes left of the movie. We're half an hour into it, so...
Well, this movie's short. Like a Rocky movie is normally a 2-hour film.
No, they're usually short. 3 and 4 were short. Like 4 was like...
Okay, well, the first two were like 2 hours.
The longest film in the franchise, I think, was Rocky 2.
Yeah, the Rocky 2 was a little long. I thought Rocky 1 was like a couple hours.
It was, yeah, but not much more.
I want to look this up if you don't mind. I want to look up 3 and 4 just out of curiosity. Rocky 3. Because it seems like a long movie, but I could be...
Rocky 1, 2 hours, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Rocky 2, 2 hours. My bad.
Oh, wow. Rocky 2 just seems longer.
It does.
Yeah, Rocky 3, 100 minutes.
It's 1 hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Rocky 4, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 31 minutes, and that's like, take away the 45 minutes of montages.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I guess I was just thinking of the first two films, really.
Rocky 5, hour 51.
Okay, so that's pretty long. That's up there too. It seems like, I don't know about you. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I always thought as a kid movies were longer.
Right.
Like, it seemed like a 2-hour movie was not unusual, and nowadays a movie is either like an hour and a half or it's really long, like 3 hours or something.
Yeah. Well, Endgame was 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa was hour 42. Creed was 2:13.
Whoa. Did that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Creed 2 was 2:10.
Wow. You know, to me, a hallmark if a movie's really good is if it's long, but you don't care. Like, at no point in the movie are you like, when's this going to end? right? Or like, how long have I been watching this? Like, I felt like with the first Creed movie, I was just kind of like just into the movie that, or even Rocky Balboa too, that it could have gone like 20 minutes longer and I wouldn't have cared.
Stephen Cable Jr., director of Creed 2, he doesn't have anything on the horizon right now, according to Wikipedia. All right. Well, I hope he doesn't go the way of steps. All right, Kyle. Have a good night. We'll talk. Have a happy New Year too, by the way.
Yeah, see you next decade, buddy.
Yeah, see you next decade, yo.